Grounded, the game where you play as a group of Dr. Disrespect's age preference who get shrunken down to the size of insects, and then you have to survive in a backyard. It's a fun game, and though I've only played Grounded for 300 hours, my videos on the game total over 58,000 hours worth of watch time and sit at about 1.9 million views. So I've got a lot to thank this game for, and of course by that I mean money! But of all of its positives, it does leave some to be desired. My review of this game is going to be broken into two main parts, the story and the gameplay. So let's start with the story. Up front, I just want to say I'm not going to go super deep into this. I'm going to look at it at a surface level because plenty of other creators have done deep dives into this, and I lack the autism, the obsession to adequately do that, so I'll just leave it to them. But as I said, the premise is just that a group of Cody Ko's fantasy groupies, you being one of them, gets shrunken down to the size of an ant. And similar to a Viagra addict, you just desire to get big again. This story for me wasn't terribly compelling though. I really don't like the characters. I get that they have their own little shticks. I don't like how that sounds. I get that they have their own shticks. I mean, Pete is an annoying, nerdy kid. Willow likes My Chemical Romance. Hoops, well, I didn't really play as Hoops. But then Max is Black, the class clown. I played as Max the most because I didn't find him to be annoying. Also, a huge plus of this character, he's not Pete. But regardless, none of these characters really drew me in. Oh, I totally forgot about
Burgle, acting science manager for this project.
Yeah, he was annoying too. To mention a couple of very positive notes in my mind though, I do think that this game did a pretty good job of prompting you to visit the different biomes in the yard, with all the different labs that led you to them and such. I don't recall any areas that were level locked or anything, it just overall felt like a pretty decent progression in exploration. Moving into the bulk of my positivity for this game though, the gameplay. This was the strongest part of Grounded, and it's the part that sticks out the most. From combat to the map, I have a lot to praise it for. And we're going to start with the map. Whenever I notice out-of-the-box thinking, or should I say out-of-the-sandbox thinking... Thank you. No, seriously, thank you. But I have to appreciate creativity when I see it. The layout of this map is the first thing that did blow me away with this game. The fact that you get a wide variety of biomes condensed into such a small area in a way that makes sense is really cool to me. I mean, you get a desert from the sandbox, plains with the main part of the yard, a swamp near the hedge, an underwater biome, and a jungle. Not to mention whatever you'd classify the undershed as. Or all the underground parts, with the tunnels from the ants and the termites. It's just a really cool map to me. As for the weapons, I love the creativity in the weaponry. In its construction, the way that you use bug parts was well thought out. And the fact that each weapon has a damage type, and certain bugs are then weak or resistant to those damage types, was a huge plus. Then you tie in the imbuement options from the candy, and you have a very cool ability to customize a loadout. I mean, between this, the mutations, and the trinkets, I was able to utilize the modifiers to one-tap a stink bug, a wolf spider, and a wasp. I think that was such a cool mechanic and a cool ability to customize. But speaking of the candy upgrades and all, this was a cool concept too, because you have the minty candies to serve as frost, spicy ones to serve as fire, electric is sour, and I don't know what salt is. But I have to appreciate that creativity because that was so cool to me. And to further this, in a later update, they added it to where killing gnats, weevils, and aphids with a salty weapon turned the meat into jerky instantly. And if you killed them with a spicy weapon, it would automatically cook the meat. This was such a cool update to me because it streamlined my gathering of food. But mostly just conceptually, I thought this was some pretty neat thinking. To look at combat a bit, I also really enjoy how this worked. I mean, the satisfaction that I got from perfectly blocking, and then you throw in the options that you can stack up your armor and you can stack up all the different modifiers for your weapons and all that. It was all in all a really big part of the game that I thought was cool. All in all, this game is fun. That being said, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Obviously, I did have a good amount of positive things to say about this game, but what really draws it back for me is the story. I just wasn't drawn in. The characters were annoying, and I found myself dragging out doing quests because I was so enthralled in the gameplay and the map. And actually, because of this, I completely neglected the story for 3 years as I made videos off of it. So realistically, I probably should just play through it again. so that I actually get a clear picture of the story and can adequately judge it. Or actually, I could probably just watch one of those videos on. Never mind, I don't want to watch a 35-minute video.